Good morning everyone, and welcome to Wild Earth Safari this morning. Welcome to Djuma Game Reserve. My name is Mark and I'm going to be taking you around Djuma Game Reserve. We're going to be looking for some of Africa's wonderful wildlife. Cat's with me on camera. Beautiful sunrise in the east. We're just looking at a herd of impala here on the open area as they're all settling in for the day. Sun's just starting to paint the tops of the trees. Let's go for a drive. Let's go see what we can find. I think it's going to be a good morning. It's a little bit cool. A bit of a chill wind in the air. Some cloud in the distance on the horizon. See whether that builds up or burns away. Of hyena tracks here this morning. Oh, that's interesting. Just have a look at this termite mound. There's a lot of new work done on this termite mound. You can see how dark it is. It's still moist. This is in the last day or two that they've been working. A few tunnels at the base of the mound as well. I wonder if they're expecting something. What they've actually done is they've opened up a vent hole at the top. Can't quite see it from this angle, but there's an opening at the top that is helping to regulate the temperature of the termite colony. And that is sometimes in preparation for releasing reproductives, and I'm not sure, I wonder if they're not maybe expecting thunderstorms. I'm seeing some pretty big clouds way down in the southwest that are starting to look like anvils already. It's only 6 o'clock in the morning. But we'll have to monitor. We'll see what the weather's going to do throughout the morning. And keep an eye on this and other termite mounds, maybe some other signs that we might see that look like there might be something on the way. I'm thinking we should be around new moon. Right now, I'm not too sure what the moon phase is. Hyena tracks on the road. Up and down. very big hyena here. It keeps stopping me in my tracks. Well, stopping me in the car at any rate. Because of the size of its feet. Needing me to have a double take. I've also just seen an ant hole or an ant colony. The hole of which has got a conical shaped mound of sand around it. That is another thing that happens before weather changes. Flood defenses of ants. See if I can find another one. Like they build a levee around their hole, so when the water starts flowing on the ground, the sand closes over the hole. A lot of termite workings on the ground. So interesting to see this. We're starting off on Weaver's Nest and we're going to go towards Treehouse Dam. I want to see if there's any sign of that young man who was on a kill last night, a young leopard. When I heard Patrick had a Induna on a carcass in a tree, suddenly made me realize that 2 days ago on Spam Road, when I was getting stopped by the smell of rotting flesh, rotting meat, I'm wondering if it wasn't that I'd smelt. A herd of elephant that have come through, gone down to Twin Dams Road. We'll have to maybe look at those tracks a little later. Morning guys, Mark getting mobile. Can I get an update please? Copy, thanks. Low mist lying in the valley of the Mulwati. Testament to the cool temperatures that we're having at the moment. Sometimes at night, the other morning it was lovely and warm. 4 mornings ago it was cold, and so we're sort of having this alternate hot and cold. Huge changes in or differences in temperatures between mornings and midday, and nowhere near the kind of differences we'll get closer to winter, but a bit of a bite to the air, which should be encouraging for those of you in the northern hemisphere. It means that you should be warming up there. Drag marks. Hyena dragging something. Somebody's driven over it. Anybody do weaver's nest this morning? Yeah, I can see that. I see Omkon's on top. You didn't follow that. Good, thanks. Actually, I think it's north going to the south. From. Oh, look at these hyena tracks. Hard to tell because the hyena tracks on top of these drag marks going both ways. It's just a young hyena that walked on top of these drag marks south. An adult hyena that dragged it to the north. Maybe it was a youngster picking up the scent of these drag marks. I wonder if this is not maybe the remains of Induna's kill that this hyena is dragging. There are hyena tracks up and down here. Both directions. Like somebody might have already been here to see if Induna's around. Leopard, this is leopard dung. Yes, it is very fresh. Trying to ascertain which of these tracks are the freshest. Leopard tracks that have gone east, but they are coming back towards the dam again. And I'm just smelling leopard now. Very strong scent of leopard. Judging by all the tracks here, this seems to be where Induna was last night. Vehicle tracks, I mean. Let's see if we can find his tracks. His tracks were on the road. He must have gone for a walk somewhere. Let's see if we can find where he's gone. There was a lot of hyena activity in the area last night. He might have stayed up a tree, or he might have just left the area entirely. The tracks that I saw now with that dung is actually quite fresh. There he is, other side of the dam. Fantastic, beautiful light. He's watching something. We'll see if we can get around the dam on the other side and hopefully try and catch up with him if he doesn't go up the drainage line. I'm hoping he might go up onto the dam wall, or rather the other road going up towards Spum Road. He seems to be looking at something, seems to be watching something. And pounce. No, there's hardly a pounce. Jumping across a hole or something. Let's just see if... Where are my binoculars? At this stage I don't even think he knows that we're watching him. Okay, we better get over there if we can. see him through a gap now. I'm going to just stop because it looks like he's watching something. I stopped now. Can you see him, Kate? The tall tree on the right, just to the right of the base of that tall tree on the right. He's now sitting down in the grass. Through the gap, got squirrels shouting at him. Yeah, it's moving again. Stations 1 Ingwe at Treehouse Dam. Yeah, affirmative, Org. Right, let's get to him. Morning, young man. Lying down. I haven't seen him for a while. He's looking magnificent. That head of his has become so large, typical of a male leopard. Good morning, Induna. Is that good enough? Can't really do much better than this at the moment. We're at a bit of an angle and Welcome to Wild Earth Safari, everyone, and one of our favourite characters here at Juma Game Reserve, a young male leopard that's going on to be about 2.5 years old now, or just under, born in the November of 2008, no, 8, yes. Trying to get my math right here, and we have been following him and his brother their whole lives. I'm just going to move a little bit and let some of the guests get a slightly better view. And they've only got a very narrow angle to view him with. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a chance to see him, and hopefully they'll be moving on. What I'm going to do is also try and turn around, perhaps. See if we can't view him. Gail was asking a question. might not. Oh, it's going to be very awkward, but I'm just going to stop there a sec. Oops, sorry cat, sorry. I know you probably zoomed in there. Just trying to get... Let's see if we can't get in here, turn around and come back up towards him. Gail was saying we often talk about the smell of lion and leopard, but she hasn't ever heard us actually describe it. Oops. It's very muddy here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything. Hang on, Gail, let me just concentrate on what's happening here. Going to work. I have to try and go forward out of here and get through the mud and go around again, because if we go back towards him from this angle, it's going to be a little bit what through this? We're just going to have to try and reverse back towards him. Okay. Yep. Is he still there? It's gone. Oh, there he goes. Drinking now. onto the damn wall. Try and get next to Aubrey. Oops. Morning everyone. Morning all. Look way. Okay. We'll find Bakule. Okay. Well, let's see if we can stick with him for a while. We're very lucky to find him. And getting back to Gail's question, asking about the smell of the cats, I find it very hard to describe smells. And the dung of the big cats is very smelly. It is quite powerful. And kind of worse than doggy do. But when we talk about the smell of cats, we're talking about the smell of their scent marking, their and their urine. Now, very difficult to describe. And some people have described the smell of a leopard scent marking as the smell of popcorn and butter. Buttered popcorn, I guess you could say. Something else. Oh, Hippo. We've just missed him where we were, almost getting stuck in the mud. Old Humgo coming back to the dam. Quite a difficult angle for Cat to get at though. I'll fix that. Let's see if Aubrey can keep up with Induna for a minute. Give him and his guests a bit of a break with the touch. The smell is not, it's not a pungent smell. It's not something that one makes, it sort of turns one's stomach. It is but then again, it's not really a pleasant smell. It's not a perfume smell. It's not a musk or it's not sweet. He's possibly in the sun just to get a bit warm. Although I would have imagined that this water would be warmer than the air early this morning. Catching a bit of a graze on his way back into the dam. And come on, come out. Can you see his reflection in the water? Can't see him, but we can see his reflection. There he comes. Come on, slow coach. He would have been out most of the night grazing, our hippo. As the day warms up, he needs to get back to his water, not only for refuge but to get out of the sun. When the hippo is not being defensive by running back into the water because of potential danger or what he perceives as danger, you can see how a hippo is not hurried at all, taking life one step at a time. That was quite neat. Let's see if we can catch up with Induna, and then I've got another surprise. See if we can catch up with another surprise a little bit later. Karula here. Did it again. Karula here has gone west into Arathusa with the children. Now to catch up with Induna if Aubrey's still with him. Aubrey coming. Aubrey, you still with Ingrid? Somewhere in here. I'm not stopping you at all. There he is. See if we can get in there. Very awkward with all this puzzle bush. Pretty nasty spines on it. See if I can find our way through it. Here somewhere. He's gone back down to the road. There he is. Just crossing down into the drainage line. Come back to the road. Come past us, go back to the road, boy. Going down towards that big scotia. Panting a bit. I wonder if he didn't go after something. It's gone down into the drainage line. Might be the end of it, unless we put out down on Weaver's Nest. Go a bit forward because he's going to walk a bit more. Now I know that Karula's had her cubs here, so and the way he's smelling, it could be that he's picking up her scent. There's a nice deep hole down here. Well, hole, gully, I should say. nice mound. Back up to the road. I mean, this is proof that if he didn't want to see us, he could disappear into this drainage line, down into that dense vegetation, and we wouldn't get to see him at all. So we've been very, very lucky. Squeezing in the sun right in my eyes, but he's heading back up to the road now. And it's just really beautiful to see a leopard in this morning light like this. Let's see if we can get back up onto the road now ourselves. Down towards Weaver's Nest. Get this jacket off. Nothing like a little bit of off-road driving to get the blood pumping in the morning. Even with power steering. A little bit of a workout. Now he's on a mission. Francolin in front of him. Amazing how that tail lifted up when you saw the francolin. Magic. Thanks, Orbs. Ingo's now heading east along Elephant Skull. Stop going. What is he going to do with that francolin? Nothing. Francolin waits till the last minute to fly away and then of course advertise to the whole world that there's a leopard here. This is what I talk about sometimes. clear road and you come around a bend and there's suddenly a leopard in the road. Okay, we've been following him, but it's still that wonderful moment of having not seen anything and coming around a bend and there's a cat. And we're going to follow him. He's heading... Don't go into the drainage line, Induna, thank you. No. Stay on the road, please. Go down to Twin Dam. Let's go and hunt something. No, please don't do that. What can I say? Melted into this grass. Gone. As I said earlier, if he doesn't want us to follow him, he will do something like this, something that he's just done. And he might pop out again. He might also just find a nice spot deep in the dark ravine over there to have a nap. I can't hear him, I can't see him, I can't hear any birds shouting at him. Try a little bit further up ahead, but I don't think he's going to want us to see him again. I don't think he's going to let us see him again. I lost visual of this Ingwe. Has gone into the drainage line off of Elephant Skull. Nobody's going to hear me there. No radio comms. Well, we can maybe... Just seen something moving down below us here now. There's a branch that moved. spider. Sorry about that spider. I lost visual of this ingwe in the drainage line off of Elephant Skull. I didn't know any better, I'd say that was a wild dog track I've just been over. We'll check further down on Elephant Skull towards Twin Dams Road to see if this is wild dog track. Tiny little spiders that are still on their webs from last night. Tiny little ones. Baby bark spiders perhaps. Fresh rhino dung and some fresh tracks, fresh mushrooms growing in the not so fresh dung, and Twin Dams Road. Please show me some tracks, rhino tracks. Alright, we'll go to Twin Dams in a sec and go and see that. I just want to show you something else quickly while I'm here. Should have enough light. Noisy. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Radio. Stop making a noise. Can't have living creatures running around the vehicle. They do better behave. We're talking about you now. You've heard me talk about katydids. Well, this is a katydid, and this is also known as a longhorn grasshopper. This is a male, and I know that because the abdomen has claspers rather than an ovipositor. Ovipositor is an organ that the females have. It's quite noticeable on crickets and grasshoppers and katydids. It's an organ that they use to lay eggs. And some of them can be very, very long to be able to drill into the ground. Cleaning its feet. It's probably going to clean its antenna because it's been in the back of the vehicle a little bit. But you can see this beautiful markings that it has, the beautiful texture of it. Hopefully coming through quite well. Looks like a leaf. But another reason why I know that this is a male is because he was making a noise and the female doesn't. So I think we'll leave him be and he can fly off when he wants to. He's got to clean his feet first before he goes anywhere. For some reason, similar to praying mantids. When they touch a human, they have to clean themselves. So let's take this katydid and see if we can find us some rhino. And then we got to go elsewhere. Back to the east. No, to the west. Hyena, mostly hyena, no dogs. Must have been a small hyena maybe. Let's see, I'm just going to go through the twin dams, and then I'd like to come back this way just to see if maybe Induna hasn't come out again. He's now cleaning his back feet. Katydid. Tracks. So I think I'm going to do with you, young man. Just move along. Yeah, it's flown away. Hopefully not going to be seen by a bird. Let's go into the sun. Oh, lost my katydid. Okay, there was a big one in FC I must rescue when we get back to camp. Now Induna might also be heading out this way. If he's crossed the drainage line, there's a track that runs on this side of the drainage line. That would probably bring him out here towards Twin Dams. Lots of tracks to look at. Some buffalo, a lot of hyena. Hyena. Don't know where those rhino went to. Drag marks. These are the drag marks. Must have come all the way, gosh, from here all the way up to Weaver's Nest perhaps. Yeah, must be the same drag marks, I guess. Hyena taking something all the way from here. In fact, could even be further. That's strange, drag marks. Everywhere here. I can smell something. I think this must be where they must have made a kill. There's a lot of hyena tracks all over the place here. Very big set of drag marks coming across the road, and then drag marks heading up towards the north. So this is possibly where they maybe made a kill, or stole a kill, or they did something here, the hyena. hippo tracks. I wonder, that could have been the hippo that's gone up to Treehouse Dam. I'm going to have a look here on Gary Main. Between Baboon, there's always a lot of activity between Baboon Pan and Twin Dams. Oh, there's a lovely kudu bull drinking. We should be able to get to see him. We can't go over there, but we can get to see him from here, and he lifts his head. I can go forward a little bit. He's gone behind Leadwoods. No, he's going to keep moving. Something's disturbed this blacksmith lapwing that's flying overhead. Such a majestic animal, the kudu bull. Okay, back up Twin Dams Road. We might be able to bump into Induna. If not, we have to head up towards Sandy Patch. Rhino must have headed east, I guess, across the drainage line, the riverbed. There's no sign of those rhino here. They were at the junction of Twin Dams Road and Elephant Skull. So tracks of a giraffe going north. Oh, there's a crocodile! Nearly missed it. Crocodile, how are we going to get to see you? We have to try and turn ourselves in here somehow. Lying on the bank, on the opposite bank, sunning itself. Looks healthy enough. Wonder what it's been eating. Now, something was niggling at my brain. There was somebody talking about a crocodile at a place called Twin Dams, and they were saying it's not on Western Gari, but I don't know of any twin dams that isn't here. I don't know of any other twin dam or twin dams, but there was talk of a crocodile that had caught an impala, and I don't know who was talking about it, whether it was Seb. Was it you?
I slept last night with Ryan.
Because that would account for the drag marks. I mean, that could be that the hyena stole it from the crocodile and dragged it away. That might have actually happened, and maybe it was this crocodile that caught an impala, had some of it, and hyena took it, and that accounts for all those tracks just on the other side of the dam, at the top end of the dam, and the drag marks that go all the way from here up the road. I must find out more information on that. It might account for a crocodile's full tummy. And this crocodile's not exactly feeding on frogs. It's a little bit too big to subsist on just frogs. Induna should be here by now if he was still walking and coming this way. Let's see if we can go and find him. Croc's not going to be doing much until it warms up properly. It'd be nice to get a closer view of him or her. Could try and get around there, but I'm worried I'd disturb it and force it back into the water. Coming in from the tail end of the crocodile. This must be the same one that alternates between here and Pan, baboon pan. Geese and her goslings. Only two little ones. Okay, reptile. Nice to see that you're a little bit relaxed. We're not going to see its head, I don't think. Almost. Angle's not great, but... Shh. Oh, don't make a noise. It's lifting its head. And relaxed again. Geese are probably a bit nervous to be on the water. They just flew straight out. Two of them. Still a youngster on the water. I wouldn't be surprised if this croc's nabbed one or two. Well, I have to be honest, you know, living in places and these geese are very nervous. Living in places with high populations of crocodiles and having crocodiles on my doorstep day in and day out. I've seen so many incidents where crocs could have just snapped up either a goose or a stork or something next to them, and they haven't. Maybe it's something to do with the feathers. There's a lot of chattering going on. Bird chattering, irritable sounds of birds that are complaining about something. I don't know if it's the crocodile, if there's something else around. These geese have been suddenly nervous. His eyes are open. I have to tell you something. I've had the opportunity to look into a crocodile's eye from a very close distance. It is both enthralling and awesome, and actually it's more than just those two. It's incredible. There is an intelligence behind those eyes, and there's something there that you don't see in other reptiles. A true dinosaur. Replete with bony plates and fierce teeth, and a reputation that matches its 250 million year history. Okay, let's leave crocodile. Off we go. Glad to have visited with him or her and not disturbed it. Now just to leave without doing so. Relax, child. Starting to move. No, actually relaxing even more, pushing its legs way out behind it. It must have tensed up a little bit when we arrived. And as we pulled away, oops, as we pulled away, it relaxed back on its belly, put its back legs behind it, stretching out and getting ready for a morning sunbathe. Wow. One of those mornings. I guess what we could term an apex predator in the freshwater aquatic environment, the crocodile. Nothing can match it, nothing can displace it from its pedestal, I guess, for want of a better word. Abel, come in. What's your luck? Okay, copy, thanks. No sign of Induna having come down the road, and by now, after what we've just been doing, he should have at least popped out on Twin Dams Road if he was still heading east. So my guess is that he has settled down in the drainage line for the day.
Okay, see how the drag marks are now? No, maybe that's... could be. Unless the Land Rover's been dragging something. Could have been. Oh, there the drag marks come up from there. Somehow these hyena must have come through onto Weaver's Nest from Twin Dams. The drag marks that I'm seeing are probably something I was dragging. But that is a mystery. We can only speculate about it. If I find out more information, I'll let you know. But crocodile killing an impala at Twin Dams, and that would, I guess in a way, that would substantiate my theory that hyenas took it, and that's what drag marks we're seeing. We're back at Treehouse Dam. We're just going to bypass Treehouse Dam, get ourselves up towards Filman's cut line. Hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. Saturday night for some, beautiful Sunday morning here at Djuma Game Reserve. Going out of the water at Twin Dam. Abel, come in. What's my best approach? It's inside Hoffman. Okay, copied. What's happening with that other lock up on Sandy Patch? What's happened with that other lock on Sandy Patch? On Impala Road. Okay, copy, thanks. Wow, okay, let's see if we can find some things now. The guys are waiting, hoping that Karula is going to come out. She's just off Gowrie Main, just south of the road. They're hoping she's going to come back out onto the road. Hello, parrots. There's the parrots. Aha, rhino. Fresh rhino tracks. Could have been the rhino whose dung we had on Elephant Skull Junction with Twin Dams Road, and they came this way instead of going the other way. Fresh done, been scraping there. This could be shorthorn, which means that he would come this way and then cut through towards Zoe's Road, which is where we want to go right now. There are a number of vehicles waiting for Karula, including some of the Eastern Channel vehicles, hoping that Karula is going to pop out on Gary Main. I just want to head up towards Impala Plain and see if we can find something else up there for you, as well as this rhino. Termite mound off of the road. Also got a little bit of fresh working on the top of it. There's a giraffe. Just when we need to get from A to B, there's going to be all sorts of things. There's going to be C, D and E in between. And here's the G. Mr. G. No, Mrs. G. Big lady. She's the one that must have come across onto Twin Dams Road. Mrs. Twiga. Swahili for giraffe. Twiga. Also the national animal of Tanzania. Quite an old girl, huh? Bit of scarring there on the neck, losing a little bit of hair, probably getting from bumping into trees at night, running away from lion or something. There's a red-billed oxpecker combing through the giraffe's fur. See how, trying to pick out parasites. Another one sitting there on one of those scars. Now there are times that oxpeckers will actually keep a wound open because it'll attract flies and possibly even maggots. I'm not sure if they actually feed on the blood. Goodbye, old girl. Have a wonderful day. She's probably seen more than 20 years of lion attacks and hyena and, well, her fair share of things in life. rhino came along this way and he went back. Very on west. Okay, I can't resist this. I shouldn't, but I want to go north. But we're almost here at this place where Karula is supposedly just off-road at Hoffman. Southern side of Gari Main from our side. Basically the southern neighbour to Djuma. That's where the rhino came along. He must have gone off south then. Yes. In fact, rhino was lying down here. Huh. No vehicles here. Let's have a look. Over this hill and we'll come back this way. No tracks here. Karula. I guess they must have lost her because there's nobody here. Nobody on Gari Main. Nobody looking. And it wasn't this far east, it was more west. So let's go back. Go a little bit west of the junction here. Rhino was sleeping here and he headed his tracks coming onto the road and crossing over. Back on the road. Rhino headed west. There's a branch in the road over here. This could be where she was. Big termite mound here. Branch in the road, definitely left by a human. Which means she went in here. You can't. I'm wishful thinking that she's still close enough to the road to see, but I'm ever the optimist. Not today, Josephine. Might as well go and turn around at the bottom at the junction. And still rhino tracks in the middle of the road. Oops, what did I just see? Karula's tracks. Interesting, there's also another cat's track. That's the cat we want to go find. There's dung in the road. That was from the Karula, no doubt. Okay. Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm not too sure when we lost you, but we turned around and Karula popped back out onto Gari Main. She's crossed back onto Western Gari and she's been stalking something. There's something here in these grasses. Yeah, go.
There's something in there.
Yeah, Karula.
What is, can I go?
Yeah, you're welcome. Looks like she's landing something. And now we are on the wrong side of her because she's into the sun, but let's see what she's after. Keeping her profile very, very low and watching something further up. Oh, birds are starting to shout at her, so she's gone very, very low. I'm just waiting for Henry to stop moving and then we can change our position. Oh, she's tucking herself into that guarri bush now. Still watching something north of us. Okay, Kat, I'm gonna just go around this back side of her so we can keep on the, try and get on the eastern side. Tail's twitching like she's ready to go for something. I don't know if there's maybe not another leopard here that she's... Bless you, Cat. Okay, let me move up again. definitely trying to keep a low profile. More, I think, a result of the birds around her than anything else. She's baring her teeth, hissing a little bit now. Not too sure what she's up to. Alright, let's see if we can go through this way. Very strong smell with all the Vernonia here that we're driving over. Lying down. Henry, you got a visual? Yeah, now I can see her lying down, very long grass. I don't think you can see her yet, Cat. I can only see a couple of spots and just the tail twitching just through the grasses. But she's got her ears flat and her head down. It might be because she was going for something and these testiculars have ruined everything for her. There are at least 4 or 5 of them in the trees around us, all of them shouting. One of them just almost dive bombed her. But the very distinct harsh call of these testiculars that advertise to the rest of the world that there is a leopard here. I know we don't have much of a visual as yet, but oh, a couple of other birds coming in now. perked up a little bit now that that vehicle has left. Let me see if we can just try and get a better visual of her. Because now I can move around without intimidating her too much. Sometimes when there are two vehicles moving at the same time, it can be too much for them. Tail movement is indicative of a cat that's not too happy. She has been lifting her upper lip a little bit, baring her teeth, but her eyes are relatively, she's relatively relaxed in other respects. Starting to clean. A good sign of her relaxing. Okay, and I think she was possibly a little bit overwhelmed with both the vehicles here. Not normally, but I think there were just strange circumstances this time round, and she chose to just duck down in the bushes, and now things are calm again. She's happy to move on, so we're going to try and follow her a little bit if we can. Try and get through here where she was. Awesome dead trees here that might make a noise. Thank you, tree. I needed one of these. Hello, Anson. Sorry, I was trying to... She stopped up ahead. Oh, really beautiful butterfly on a yellow butterfly on a purple flower of the Vernonia. It was really pretty, but I couldn't get focus on it. Anson, greetings. How are you doing, Squire? Crocodile question. Crocodile sleeping on the bank. How fast can the crocodile move from sleeping to action the way a cat can? Well, Anson, probably about as fast as a cat. Where can we go? This way around. Crocodiles are very quick. Able to go from that sleeping position to... Don't like those noises. Sleeping position to up and running in blink of an eye. Henry, come in. Still watching something, or she's watching something again. Her behavior tells me that there's been other cats in the area. She's being very cautious. She's stopping and sniffing things. She's stopping and concentrating on the bush ahead of her before she moves on. I'm going to move on too now. Well, move along, just keep up with her if I can. Not easy to maneuver here. Being with Karula shortly after having spent some time with Induna helps get some idea of the size difference between the two of them now, and I don't know if and when we will get to see them again together, but there's a considerable size difference. I mean, it really makes Karula like a youngster compared to the size of Induna now. I think he's going to be quite a big leopard. Grasses are getting very long. I'm wondering if we shouldn't leave her be. I don't think. Where are you now, girl? She was here a second ago. The way she does manage to crouch down and move. There she is. Going up towards Philemon's cut line. Straight ahead of us now. Any station coming to Karula? A grasshopper. Looks like she's actually on the scent trail of something. Nose down, and then she picks up her head and looks. She's definitely scenting something. And then she looks up. Got a tick on her chin. Crisscrossing the trail that she's on. Okay, time to move up. Doubling back now. What are you after, girl? She's trying to get the scent again, I think. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to move back. I think she might want to come this way. Beautiful as it is right in front of the car. Come then, if you want to come this way. Hello, wasp. Scared it away by talking to it. I wonder if there isn't maybe a kill here somewhere that she's trying to find. When in doubt, lie down. Okay, let me move to see her. Let's move that side a little bit. Lying in the tire track of the car, where I flattened some grasses. Truly is a beautiful cat, and I sometimes perhaps take for granted how lucky we are to spend time with her like this. I wouldn't say take for granted, I just say maybe it's far too often that we're with her and too busy driving the vehicle and presenting it, we don't really get to stop and just soak in the moment. I'm able to do that now. There's a lovely front coming in. Huge bank of cloud. Hello Jody, New Mexico. Have we any idea where the cubs are? Absolutely none, Jody, no clue. The tracks, before we found her, when I'd heard that she was on the other side of Gary May, and we went to have a look for her, and then we turned around, came back to look, there were only her tracks there, so I'm guessing that her cubs must be somewhere off of Triple M on Arathusa, somewhere in that area. I don't think she was seen with the cubs this morning. I can find out from the guys later. But no, unfortunately I don't know where the cubs are. She's not looking for them. She wouldn't lose them. She would be able to go straight back to where she left them. The way she's moving about, to me, seems like she's looking for something else. I think she's been on the scent trail of maybe another cat. Who knows, maybe Induna was up here, maybe Mishu's been here, maybe Yambilu Yordan has been around. Could be anything. There were some cheetah tracks further. She doesn't like me talking. Cheetah tracks further back. I wanted to keep that as sort of under my hat because I was trying to get up to Sandy Patch, Impala Plains, because I wanted to go and look for those cheetah. They had seen them earlier this morning. Going to have to leave that for maybe this afternoon, I hope, if they're still around. It could be that she's smelling the cheetah. Maybe these cheetah are here, and maybe that is what's making her so cautious. She's walking through the grasses, clearly on a scent trail, stopping, lifting her head, looking up ahead cautiously. So that slight hesitation to me tells me that she's not heading after or picking up on the scent of a prey species, but she's aware that there could be some danger in the area, the way she's been somewhat hesitant. Beautiful look of her concentration. She looks over the grasses. This is Wild Earth Safari at its best. Welcome to Wild Earth Safari. For those of you joining us, if you haven't been with us long, this is who we call the Queen of Djuma. Her name is Karula. She's a mother of 2 young cubs. We were with her son earlier today, her son of 2 years and 4 months, 5 months. No, nearly 4 months, 2 years and 4 months. So she's still looking as though she's seeing something. in the grasses. Very attentive look on her face, ears forward, every now and then glancing at me when I'm talking, as though to say, keep quiet, I'm concentrating. I want to go and get that tick off of her throat, just below her chin. A big tick on her throat. Almost as though she's actually watching something moving. I still haven't been able to see anything all the time that we've been with her. Another question from, well, a question, Anita asking the question that's been asked, could she be looking for the cubs? No, when she's looking for the cubs, she goes back to the area that she left them and she calls. This is not looking for the cubs. You see, she won't lose the cubs. She's not going to be able, she's not going to be in a situation where she doesn't know where the cubs are. Because the cubs, it's a survival thing. They're disciplined enough to not move when she leaves them be. And she would return to an area and she would call. I suppose there's a remote possibility that coming back towards an area where she left the cubs, she's being very cautious before she calls them out, making sure that there's nothing in the area. But then she would basically walk straight back to it. She's been zigzagging a lot. She's been crossing the scent trail of something. And, well, her cubs wouldn't really move from the place where she left them. So there's been no reason for her to have to go and look for them. She'd only have to return to where she left them. can see her nose working overtime. She's still smelling something. She just got a whiff of it again. Whatever it is that she's been smelling. I can move back a bit from behind this terminal here. She's looking into this very, very thick patch of grass and bush now. See her.
Okay, copy that. So is it, okay, so the front one is there on that penny pad road towards the main axis of the Atala.
Yeah, familiar, but it's far from the city at that side, because it's coming from south, it's heading north, or the city there.
That's cheetah almost at Sydney's dam now. I hope that maybe we'll find them this afternoon. This is rather puzzling, to say the least. Any station still coming to Ingwe? It's not. Might be able to see her better if we go a bit forward, Kat. She's watching something again. Or she heard something. So now I don't want to go forward because I'm going to block whatever it is, her view of whatever it is she's looking at now. Can't really see the expression on her face from my angle. Her head's behind the bushes. I can't roll back anymore. But I'm hoping she's going to move any minute. Sometimes cats can be a little predictable. That's where I wanted to move to, just as well we didn't. Okay, we're ready to follow. She doesn't climb a tree to look for what she's looking for. Onto Philemon's cut line. Thank you, girl. Oh. Karula now on Philemon's cut line. Look at this front, here it is. A few minutes ago I could just see it coming up from the south, and here it is. So the ants and termites know what they're talking about. There's definitely humidity coming up from the south. She's looking, there's something around that termite mound, big termite mound that we've been skirting, and she's keeping a distance from it, but she can't keep her eyes off of it. Okay, we need to just go the other side of her, get better light on her. You relax, girl, you do what you're doing, don't mind me. I still think there's another cat in this area, and this is what this is all about. Sleek and pretty she is. Hello, Valerie. Valerie wants to know if there's any possibility that another predator has taken her cubs and she's looking for them. No, don't think that's the case. She's not calling, you see. She's been walking around on her own, so my guess is she's been hunting. And I have to be honest, I really don't think this has got anything to do with cubs. Hi, Anson. Anson querying whether they would mourn the loss of a youngster the way some other animals, elephants, baboons do. I'm pretty sure they do. I mean, there's a very strong maternal bond. There would have to be feelings there. And yes, they would then shift all the attention to the other cub. If they lost both cubs, there would be a sense of loss. I think it would be hard to tell the body language of a cat who's lost her cubs, how upset she is, and to gauge it in sort of human terms. But the wonderful thing about cats is that they come into estrus shortly after losing cubs, so there's not a long period of time between time that she can lose her cubs and then become pregnant again. So within about 4 months she could have new cubs. 4 to 5 months. She can come into estrus within 2 weeks of losing her cubs. Hello, Jennifer. Jennifer wants to know if she'll still be nursing her cubs. Yes, she will be. Still for a few more months, in fact. You really are a pretty girl, you know that. I think she knows it. It's a really strange posture she has there now. Almost like she's looking for a way out. Did she just say something? We've come to the end of the drive, and it is time to leave her soon. We do want to get these batteries on charge, but I'm just going to stay an extra minute or two. I've got to see this through, see what it is that she's been Yeah, she's about to move again. See what it is she's been interested in, or see what this is all about. See, she's choosing her footing very carefully, quietly. I don't know. And it's not like she's stalking. This isn't a stalking posture. This is like she's approaching something carefully. I can't smell anything. One thing I can do just before we leave her be that butterfly around her face. One thing we can do is just go directly behind her, maybe see what it is she's looking at. Okay, let's go back behind her and see what this is all about. Not going to work from directly behind her because the bush willow is in the way. Tree stump stopping me now. She's right ahead of us. She's in this long grass and all this Vernonia. There could be something around this termite mound that's got her attention. Hardly call it her attention. It's got her interest, yes. But really puzzling behavior. Really. Listen to me, tongue-tied. And it's on this note that I'm going to have to say goodbye to you, everyone. And thank you Thank you for joining me. Having said that, she's just moving now, just beyond me. I only see a few spots in the grass. And we're close to I think we're close to finding out what this is all about. Or it could take 2 hours. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to say goodbye. And, well, maybe we can come back later this afternoon and see what's going on. She's now lying down in the grass. I can just see the tip of her tail twitching. My name is Mark. Kath's been on camera. You've been with us here on Wild Earth Safari. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening or enjoy your Sunday. And we'll see you a little while later. Bye for now.